Friday morning to our fellow Asian brothers and sisters. We got to start with that. And then to all of our non-Asian brothers, sisters, and social media friends. For those of you who probably know this, this is the year of the snake. Not my year. So I'm not going to discriminate, but we celebrate every Chinese astrology animal 100%. And for today's episode of New You, New Job, and New Home, I've got some of my fellow Asian brother and an Asian sister joining me. So with all of that said, let's welcome my first guest. You've seen her before, you've heard her before. She has a secret agent name. She goes by Nikita. So just telling you that up front. And she's also friends. She has a work family that include these guys. Let's take a look at who they are. These guys, the Property Brothers, they're part of her work family. And so with all of that said, they are going to support her today because she's all about helping you, protecting you and your dreams fearlessly. So with all of that said, let's welcome Faye, Nikita Wu into the conversation.
Hi,
Hello,
good
Faye.
morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
New Year.
Happy New
We're
Year.
still
恭喜发财.
恭喜发财，新年快乐。
You do it so much better speaking Mandarin. I always attempt, but it never rolls off my tongue as beautiful as yours.
That is something you need to keep practice.
I
Find more
know.
customer, speak Mandarin, and then they can teach you more.
I
Definitely.
know. Yeah.
Keep saying it.
Yeah. Like anything in life, right? Like anything in life, like any skill, the more you do it, the more you practice, the better it comes out.
Yeah, that's true. And then buy more house, and then you have more house, you have more question about anything. Then right?
Very true. Very true. So Faye, we are, I guess, halfway through at the midpoint of each of our individual Chinese New Year celebration. I've got to start off with one question to you. Are you giving away more of these than taking in?
I think it's always giving out more because
I know.
giving out something is not only physically but like the mentally. So
Yeah.
when we're doing insurance, we not only giving advice, is also giving our heart to the customer.
True.
So yeah, and then we take the customer is only very portion, small portion of like the premium,
Right.
and then so it's always giving more. For me, it's
Yeah.
always giving more.
Okay. Good. Let's now get you warmed up with the first question. And I'm sure you get this question day in, day out with what is happening in the business of real estate, but also, the business of real estate is always centered around what I call life changes, right?
Mhm.
So my first question is this: describe what property owners should do when they are planning to turn their primary home into a rental.
I would say, of course, that's the first thing is we need to you know, let your insurance agent know, because that is very important. If you insure with different type of insurance, if anything happen, your claim might be like turned down right away. Okay. And then if they know, oh, they're seeing the bill, the electric bill, and then the gas bill, or or for the loan, if they change it from the homeowner to investment.
Yeah.
Every time, like they review the document, because the claim rep will review the document, they will turn it down right away.
Right.
So that's very important. The homeowner insurance does not cover rental.
Yeah.
That's very obvious. And then another thing is you probably just need to check with your with the law or regulation if you have like HOA or COA.
Oh yeah.
Reasons why is because some of the condo association or homeowner association probably have a rule and very strict on the rental, and then they might be required have a restoration or inspection. And
Right.
at the inspection, I was saying, depends on the local law. It's not really for the HOA, but they're still under the law or regulation.
Yeah.
And of and then of course we need to make some necessary repair and
Yeah.
upgrade if you convert for not convert, I mean change from a homeowner occupied to a rental, because some of the thing you might be just take away. I give you a sample like if you have like above ground pool on your home own house, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to rent it out, I would suggest my customer turn it down, because it's gonna bring lots of hassle for the kids or for the neighborhood kids, and then your renter, your new tenants probably not taking care of much or be cautious so much as you when you're living in the house.
That's true. Yeah, there's a different mindset when
Mm-hmm.
you are owner occupying a property versus renting a subject property. So, what I'm hearing from you, I completely agree with you. For those of you, social media friends, for those of you who are thinking, and maybe you've gone beyond thought, you're about to do it, which is convert your primary home to a rental property. If you haven't had an open, candid conversation with your insurance provider, just like Faye, Nikita Wu has dropped for you, you got to have that open conversation, because what you don't want to do is set yourself up for failure, right? And a denial of claim when and if that might occur. So, what should landlords do? What should they require from their tenants on a subject property that's an investment? Can they require that their tenants obtain like renters insurance? Talk to us about that.
Yes, definitely, because I do lots of renter insurance as well, and then basically, the landlord just telling them is no renter insurance, no key.
Yeah, smart.
Okay, there's very simple rules. No renter insurance, no key.
Yeah,
And I was saying because when you have the renter insurance, you're gonna be more secure for as a landlord. It's
right.
not only saying anything on the building itself, and then is also is for the peace of mind, because when you're moving in, just like if you have rental property in some high rise, and
Hmm.
then they will ask for rental insurance for not only 300,000. Some of them, if they're high rise in high end building, they
Yeah,
might be required have a 500,000.
right,
And then also some of the building, they're not only require landlord have it, they require whoever move in, which is the tenants, to have the rental insurance. And then the rental insurance basically is protect the landlord's property,
hmm,
and also helping the tenant itself
yeah,
for living no problem,
yeah,
and protect their belongings, and then provide the tenants liability, provide the liability coverage for the tenant in case there are any accident. So um, I think, even is also the rental insurance can be very low. It's only $10 to $20 a
yeah,
month.
right.
So think about it. Right now, basically, you got like 1,000 a month for the rent. For the rent. What is the portion about $10 or $20,
That's right.
right?
It's basically one grande Starbucks a month.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
And and that actually you cannot buy me one. You just buy yourself one.
That's right.
That's there's means no friends, okay? You
Yeah.
cannot buy two cup. There's more than $10 already.
Exactly. I know. Um, talk to us, Faye, about what aspects, what attributes about a property, whether it's a single unit property, a condo, townhome, or a multifamily, what attributes about a property tend to, in your mind, as a professional, protecting those assets, protecting those dreams fearlessly, what tends to be the biggest risk? I'm going to take a guess. Could one of the things be the age, the condition of the roof?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm just looking the aspect, like I'm just talking about as a landlord, like single family with multi-unit property, first of all.
Okay.
And then I think like the single family mostly have fewer maintenance issue, and then so the tenants intends to take care of them better,
Yeah.
and then will be less conflicts
Okay.
between the tenants
Yeah,
because there's
true.
only one,
There's
right?
only one. Right.
Yeah, it's only one. And then the multi-units either is triple and duplex or apartments or something like that. They
Right.
have more wear and tear, and
Right.
then they have a higher turnover rate, and also they're increased higher liability risk as well,
Yeah.
because they have more foot traffic, they have more shares space, and then they have a more common area. We share a common wall together,
Right.
and then if you are, no matter it's a condo, apartment, or multi-units, okay, they're pretty much the same.
Right.
And then, so that's why back in the first part, we talked about the tenants, okay?
Right.
Why higher value or like condos, apartment, they require to carry higher liability is because they have a higher probability to get a claim.
Yeah. True.
Okay, it's not saying how heavy, how seniority of the claim, is how frequent.
Yeah.
But for the single family,
Yeah.
I would say they have like less frequency, but
Okay.
higher
Oh,
seriousness claim them more often, because just think about a fire. Nothing, not oh, okay. We talk about roof. Okay, top of
yeah.
the roof. If you are a single house, you rent it out, and then if the roof is leaking,
Yeah.
so the pretty much is landlord's own policy to carry out the roof claim, and the renter is gonna taking care of about if the leaking inside the property, right?
Yeah.
And the roof is very expensive, it's like 10,000. I would
It
say
is.
like the average is 10,000.
Yeah.
And then, but if you're living in a condo or living apartment, then somebody you're gonna pay for the HOA or like COA.
Right.
Then somebody's gonna sharing the cost, roof cost for with you.
True.
It's going to be less. And also, even though you have multi-units, and then they might be noticed quicker,
Yeah.
okay? And then instead of like always you have more people seeing the problem, they have you're always better when people seeing the problem.
Yeah.
So so the roof problem might be, like when it come the claim on the condo association or HOA association, then the condo unit owner will share less costs
Yeah.
compared to single unit owner,
Yeah.
single family owner.
Yeah. In
Mm-hmm.
in my business, and I think in yours, Faye, uh, there's a cliche, a short message that I tend to share, and that is cheap equals trouble, trouble equals danger, danger equals expensive. So in your line of business and also mine, social media friends, we all need to find cost-effective solutions. However, do not, this is our professional advice, Faye and mine, for you. Do not make your decision leaning completely on what's cheap, because again, cheap equals trouble, trouble equals danger, danger equals expensive in the long run. So as we benefit from this expertise and knowledge from Faye, let me welcome my next guest into this conversation. By the way, it's another Asian fellow peer. It's an Asian brother from a different mother, but we all know each other because we tend to run into each other with like networking associations and so forth. Not to mention, we all have some roots back in Chicago's Chinatown. So let's welcome Charles into today's conversation. Charles, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Hold on.
All right.
Okay. Can you see me?
We can hear you. We can't see you. You're being invisible man.
Something that okay. Oops.
I can see you in my mind. I can imagine what's your look right now.
Hold on. Let me try it again. Here you go.
There we go.
I like your shirt.
We can see you now, Charles.
New logo. They just gave it to us.
They just gave it to you? Oh yeah, from a recent meeting.
They just changed it on last Friday, I think.
You sure yourself is totally a Chicagoan.
So Charles, for the social media friends who don't know you, why don't you lead off with a quick introduction about yourself? What is it that you do? There's many things I know you do, but maybe start with what is it that you're actively doing right now?
So I am a realtor with the Chicago Association of Realtor and working with HomeSmart Realty Group out in the suburb.
Okay.
I also manage property in the Chicago land with Magnify Chicago.
Okay. And so kind of leading you off with some questions I want to ask you. This is a curveball, maybe a curveball question. Is the rental market just as crazy and competitive as the sell and the buy market, Charles?
On the listing side, I can tell you if you prepare your property right, you can get top dollars and
True.
percentage.
True.
The price have gone up. I would say in the last 5 years in Bridgeport itself,
Yeah.
the price has gone up at least 25 to 30%.
Yeah, I believe that. I
you
believe
used
that.
to be able to get a 3-bedroom right by school and to maybe around 1,200.
Yeah.
Right now you cannot even get one into maybe 18. I rent out a 2-bedroom for 1,400 to 1,800. So it depends on the condition. If you have good condition, people are willing, because the mortgage payment right now is high. So
Sure.
even though paying 1,800 for them, is still cheaper than the mortgage payment oftentimes.
That's true. And also, I think I know this. Also, there are certainly enough of our friends, enough of our consumers where they just don't want the commitment right now of owning a property. They're quite happy being for right now a renter. Some even a forever renter, right?
It is going toward that way. The average first-time home buyer right now is 43.
Yeah, it's gone up in age. Do you agree? Do you agree, Faye?
Yeah.
You see that as well?
We just came back from the market outlook with the Chicago Association of Realtor. There was a lot of information, and I was surprised to see that curve that has gone up a lot.
Yeah, I think what's happening right now is it's a case of delayed reaction. People are getting married later in life. Don't get me wrong, there's an exception to the rule, but people are getting married later in life, settling down later in life. And so maybe that's the reason why the median age has bumped up. So Charles, how do you help your clients, the ones that are investors and landlords? How do you help them work your magic to find the right and the best tenant. Can you spill some secrets about how you do what you do?
So there's fair housing involved, certain
Yeah,
things you say, but the first thing that I think every single landlord should do is look over their property, make sure they are in top shape, in repairs, in
yeah,
the condition, because it reflects you as a landlord. Oftentimes, when I take over a management from a private landlord, they come in bad shape, and then the rent will be under the market value, and the tenant usually is not so great.
yeah,
Whatever you do, show them how you care about your property. If you have like all the property we rent out in top shape, they usually come back pretty close to it because they know you care about the property. They respect your feeling to that
right,
property. If you just don't care, like you just do what they call landlord special for everything that you do, and
right.
you repair, they're gonna do the same thing to you. It's
Yeah,
like if you lend something to someone, right? Your friends, your family, they know you care about all the personal items that you own. They're most likely going to be more careful with the item they borrow from you versus, they know you just don't care. Your car is all beat up, you don't even care. Your house is messy. They're going to do the same thing to you when they
right.
borrow or use your item. Same thing with property.
Yeah. It's kind of like attract like. Um, if you like you're saying, if you're a landlord that isn't really invested in creating a good to great rental environment for the best and the right tenant, you're not going to get the best and the right tenant.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one thing I not many management company do to screening tenant is we call housekeeping screening. A
Okay.
lot of time I mean every single time basically we either Zoom or we will personally drive to their current resident and look to make sure it's clean, is in good order because it tells us more about you as a renter.
Yeah, that's very true. What must potential renters and tenants do to show themselves in the best light so that they don't waste time and they don't keep hitting their head on the brick wall? Any advice there, Charles?
So honesty is a main thing. Oftentimes, when a application got rejected,
Yeah,
is misinformation on the application, like
yeah,
credit score or like anything on there. It could be potentially, turned against you, and it's a small community.
yeah,
Sometimes one management company may manage over 100, 200 unit with the same geographic area. You can miss out a big opportunity if you just not. Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but still, fill out an application is your responsibility as a renter to make sure all the information on there is correct, and just take the time and do it. And with the new law changes right now, as of January 1st, if the renter pay for the application, they are allowed to reuse that application somewhere else. So
okay,
that's a good thing for a renter, so they don't keep hitting and paying for this application fee. Like, because it's a really competitive market, and
yeah,
sometimes you have to go through five. I have people come to apply my apartment. They have applied already 10 times, and I do the screening process differently than some of the property management. We don't charge the application fee until we look at your income and everything and approve. So that kind of helped out, the renter itself because some of these people are charging 75, 80, 90, $100 for the application fee. They have to go through 10 of them.
yeah,
That's $1,000 there. And
yeah,
that could be your security pass or moving fee and things like that.
yeah. That's a good chunk of red envelopes, as we were joking about. So, as I pivot the conversation, Charles, same question to you. Are you giving out more red envelopes than taking in?
Luckily, I have two boys. So majority of my family have one.
Okay.
All my friends have one. So I'm actually getting lower from it.
Oh,
The money doesn't go to me. They all go to the kids. So it's still a total loss to me.
good for you. Good for you. As Faye and I were trading our opinion on that earlier, it sounds like to me, Faye and I share one thing in common. We probably have large families, either our own or our in-laws. So I'm right there with you, Faye. I'm giving out more than I'm taking in, but hey, that's okay. It's Chinese New Year. So, social media friends, you heard it from my Asian brother, from another mother, Asian sister. We're all local here in the greater Chicago area. Actually, very specific in the South Loop, Bridgeport, thereabouts. And don't know if you know this, people, social media friends, Chicago's Chinatown, unlike many of the others across the US, has been growing as opposed to shrinking. So, for those of you who may be looking at this fork in the road, whether you plan to rent a property with Charles' help, you might need rental or renter's insurance from Faye, or whether you own real estate property. And of course, as you heard it, you need to have that transparent, open conversation with your service providers, because we're here to help you get to your next chapter, your outcome, protecting them fearlessly, borrowing the tagline from your organization, Faye. As we wrap up today, if you need to start a conversation with us as your dream team to help you get to your next step, all you need to do is scan this QR code. Leading the charge, I'll gladly set up some introductions so that we can engage you in a conversation to help you get to your next step. So as we wrap up today's episode of New You, New Job, and New Home, let me ask my music posse to play us out. Charles, Faye, thank you for sharing your time, your wisdom. I will see you very soon. Here we go.